right, so first off, we say all praise to Yahweh in the name of His Son, Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. All right, double honors to my elders, apostles, and the bishops of Great Millstone, otherwise known as GMS for short, but also known as the Prophets of Doom. These are where I have learned this truth and where I am still learning this truth. And also, Shalom to the remnant and the elect of Israel. Lord willing, I am of that number. All right, so this is right on the heels of the last video. So if you find yourself clicking on this and not understanding what we are talking about or why we are picking up on or in Revelation 13 and 16, all right, go back and look at the previous video, okay? So let's go ahead and get right to it. This is Revelation 13 and 16 now. It reads, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark or a charagma." Okay. Since you should know by now, if you've been listening and paying attention to what charagma is, all right, in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay, so you read here that they had to take something, right, and that without the thing, without the charagma, right, they could not buy or sell, right? And this thing is the micro C-hip. All right, it is the micro C-hip without a doubt. All right, and we know this through the Spirit. Okay, and it's plain, well, at least it is to us. Okay, so a micro C-hip is what the thing is, and anyone who says differently, all right, is leading you down a different path. And can two walk together except they be agreed? This is why we always stress you need to pay attention to doctrine. Someone can tell you or guide you to different parts of the truth, but if they don't tell you the whole truth, right, you may be messed over because of that piece of information, right, that truth that was withheld from you. Okay, especially this one that we're speaking about here, the mark of the beast. Okay, people are not believing or not listening that it is the micro C-hip, and that again, that is because the Lord, all right, is blocking you. All right, whoever is not understanding this, the Lord is blocking you. There's nothing that anyone can do about that. All right, but for those of you who the Lord has deemed worthy enough to, deemed worthy of hearing this truth, having the gift of faith, all right, hearing the words that He has put on His men to speak, okay, you're going to understand these things. And you're not going to go in the way of a false prophet. All right, so people are going to need to take this micro C-hip in order to participate in society, right, in order to buy and sell, right, which is what the next verse tells you, Revelation 13 and 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or save he that had the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Okay? You're going to have to take this thing. Okay? The powers that be, Esau, Edom, right, have figured out a way to track and trace everything. This is what the UPC is used for. Esau, Edom came up with a language that is the barcode or computer language, right, in which they can trace every item. Now, the UPC is a digital all, AUL. All right, let's get this definition. Define all, AUL. Okay. Let's see. Define all when it comes to a badge of servitude. Let's do this. define all, AUL, when it comes to servitude. All right. It says, in the context of servitude, an awl is a sharp pointed tool used in a biblical ceremony to mark a servant who voluntarily chose to remain with their master for life out of love and loyalty. And again, this mark of the beast, or this microchip, acts as a digital awl. Okay. All right. It says description and use. It says an awl is a common tool, typically made of flint, bone, stone, or metal, used to pierce holes, especially in leather or wood. It says, as described in the Old Testament books of Exodus 21, 5 through 6, and Deuteronomy 15, 16 through 17, a Hebrew servant who had completed their required 6 years of service had the option to go free. If the servant chose to stay permanently out of love for their master and household, they were brought before judges. Their master would then use an awl to pierce the servant's ear against the door or doorpost of the house. This act served as a public physical symbol of a lifelong voluntary commitment. The pierced ear signified the servant's perpetual attentiveness and obedience to their master, and the doorpost represented their permanent inclusion in the household. This was a permanent mark of identity and dedication, not punishment or a sign of exploitation. All right. So again, what we're speaking about here with this mark or number or the microchip serves as a digital awl. Okay, you are choosing, or this is a symbology of you being in the household of Esau Edom. Okay, and it says the pierced. All right, you receiving this thing signifies uh, the servant's perpetual attentiveness and obedience to the master. Okay. All right. So again, the powers that be, Esau Edom, have figured out a way to track and trace everything. This is what the UPC is used for. Esau Edom came up with a language that is the barcode or computer language in which they can trace every item. The UPC is a digital awl. This code, all right, will act as a branding and will make you their property. All right, what this is a culmination of you being whom you serve in the spirit, or you loving, all right, doing this act, receiving this microchip, this badge of servitude, all right, to whom you are following, okay, to who you are showing reverence to, all right, because the men of the Lord, all right, the people who actually believe and have true faith, they're going to stay away from this thing. All right, not only do they understand what the microchip stands for, but they are going to avoid this thing, Lord willing, all right, and actually the remnant and the elect, all right, are going to be kept from this. Okay, the Lord talks about that in Revelation 3 and 10. All right, this is Revelation verse 3 and 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. And this is going to be a thing that tries everyone, because again, you're not going to be able to participate in society. You're not going to be able to buy and sell, right? You're not going to have a way to get clothing, food, shelter, all right? or anything else that a man needs to sustain life without receiving this badge of servitude to Esau Edom, the wicked. All right. So I have a diagram here where it shows the anatomy of a barcode. All right. Oh man. So on the barcode, the numbers that are of most importance are the right side numbers. All right. Each number has a code. All right. So let me go here to barcode. So I have this pulled up in Wiki. All right. And just a reminder before I point this camera at what we're looking at here, we did go over the fair use description and definition. Okay, and that applies to this video also, as we stated in the previous video. But fair use, all right? All right, so let's go down here and look at the anatomy of a barcode. We're going to look at the ones that we brought up earlier, which were the UPCA, right? And the EAN. But you can see here, right, there are a lot of different types of barcodes. Okay. So we're going to look at the, what is it? It's the, hold on a second. Which ones did we say? We said the UPCA and the EAN 13. All right, but you can see here. All right, there are a lot of them. But we're looking for, here's the UPC. All right, UPCA. Okay. Did we pass the EAN 13? Here it is right here. All right. We're going to be focusing on these. See the beginning, the same bars, the ones that are extended here. In the beginning, the middle, and the end. Okay. That was the EAN 13. And then again down here in the UPCA. All right. You also have these right here. In the beginning, the middle, and the end. All right. Sometimes they'll look even like this, but still in the beginning, middle, and the end. All right. There'll be the codes for 6. Okay. So again, on the barcode, the numbers that are of most importance are the right side numbers. And each number, right, each one of these numbers has a code from 1 all the way to 9. All right, they all have a code within that equals this number, and we'll get into it. All right, as a matter of fact, okay. So these white spaces, if I remember correctly, which we get into this. All right, we get into it. Yeah, we'll get into this. Let me see something really quickly here. All right, the white spaces equal 0, and the color spaces equal 1. All right. Again, this is the left side. The one that matters is the right side. Okay, the even parity codes. Okay, which you can see here, 6 is 101, or black, white, black. Okay, so okay, so we'll look. Let's see. All right. So, uh, just as we stated that the right side, all right, is more important, all right, the focus, all right, the brother pointed out that this is even a spiritual thing in itself, because in Revelation 13:16, it states that, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, when it comes to receiving a mark in your right hand, it doesn't actually mean your right hand, all right? It means your power hand. If you're left-handed, all right, it would be your left hand, okay? It's your power hand is what that means, all right? So, let's on this page, all right? So the black lines in these UPCs, which I don't even know if I want to read all of this. Let me check this out for a second here. Okay, so the black lines, as we stated, all right, and each number has a, for instance, hold on. Like for instance, right here. Now this is what the number, hold on. Okay, it says the code for 7. So right side code for 7. All right, you can see 7 means 1 0 0 0 1 0 0. See? All right. So each number has its own code. All right. There is not another number that says that has a code of 1 0 0 0 1 0 0. All right. That stands for 7. Okay. And then even on the left side, it would be opposite the right. You see what I mean? 0 1 1 1 0 1 1. Okay. So these codes are unique for each number. Okay. So black lines again stand for 1. White lines stand for 0. This is how unique the number 6 is. Black, white, 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 white. All right. This code represents the number that is the makeup of the mark of the beast, 666. When a computer sees this code, it knows that it's the number 6. This is a language that Esau Edom uses. All right, the even parity determines the barcode. Most of your products have a starting of black, white, black, and this represents the number 6. All right, in the middle of a barcode, you will see the same black, white, black. And in the middle of the barcode, it's the same. Okay, let's look at this again. As a matter of fact, there were some images at the top of the screen where you could see. Oh man, where'd it go? All right, because when you type in anatomy of a barcode, all right, it shows. Okay, these different. All right. Let's click on this one really quick here. Okay, you can see black, white, black. Even in the middle, black, white, black. Okay. At the end, black, white, black. All right. So at the beginning, the middle, and the end, 666. And this is in many of your products. You can go look at the products that you have and see this. Okay, this is all spiritual. Okay, so let's move on to the inventor. The inventor of the UPC barcode is George J. Lauer. All right, that middle name stands for Joseph. All right, he's a co-inventor. All right, as we're gonna see, because I do have a couple videos that I want to show. All right, so in 1971, while Mr. Lauer was an employee with a certain company, all right, called IBM. Okay, again, fair use. Okay, when he was with that company, he was designed the task to design the best code and symbol suitable for the grocery industry. Okay, and if you go through his name, also, since nothing is a coincidence, George Joseph Lauer. All right, his first, middle, and last name, if this is his true name, all right, all have 6 letters. Again, 666. All right, which shows up frequently around Esau Edom. All right, this number shows up frequently. All right, that's not a coincidence right here. Okay. All right. So let's read again Revelation 13 and 18. All right. Revelation 13 and verse 18. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. Okay, and his number is 603 score. 603 score and 6. Again, that score being 20. So if it's 3 score, that's 60, right? So 660 and 6. All right. So you can again go look at a lot of your household products and see that most barcodes on these products start, end, and even contain the barcode, the black, white, black in the middle, okay, which all stands for 6. This is the number of a man, and he has this in order to have control of everything. All right, that's what this thing was through the Spirit created for, to show who Esau Edom is. All right. So Wiki also stated that George Joseph Lauer was an employee with IBM, which is a company that you should probably read up on. All right, but Mr. Lauer's UPC barcode entered the world, and the rest is history. Now I do want to go back here to this this wiki page so you can see what we're about to read here. All right. So it says on Mr. Lauer's website, he has a questions page where he answers the 666 question as follows. So he even answered a question because people were asking about this. All right. So he even encountered questions, and what we're about to read here is on this wiki, and I'm about to show you. All right, it's important to get this information before they start taking stuff down. Okay. So it says question 8. Here was a question. It says, rumor has it. So this is someone asked him a question like this. It says, rumor has it that the lines left, middle, and right. All right. Speaking of these lines right here. All right. Speaking of these lines, left, middle, okay, and right. Okay. That's what the question is about. So again, rumor has it that the lines left, middle, right that protrude below the UPC code are the numbers 666. As a matter of fact, let me see. It says, and I'm gonna put the camera on the screen again in a minute. Again, it says, rumor has it that the lines left, middle, and right that protrude below the UPC code are the number 666, and that this is the international money code. I typed a code with all sixes, and this seems to be true. At least they all resemble sixes. What's up with that? Okay, and I'm going to show you his answer here. All right, answer. This is what he answered. Yes, they do resemble the code for 6, and even parity. 6 is one module wide black bar, one module wide white space, one module wide black bar, 4 modules wide white space. There is nothing sinister about this, nor does it have anything to do with the Bible's mark of the beast. The New Testament, Revelation chapter 13, paragraph 18, it is simply a coincidence, like the fact that my first, middle, and last name all have 6 letters. There is no connection with an international money code either. All right. Okay. Let me see. So he states there that it's a coincidence, but for the men of the Lord, right, for the ones who do study like the Lord tells us to, the ones who do put their hope and faith in the scriptures and know that they are true, okay, we know that there is no such thing as coincidence. All right, let me check this time really quick. Okay. So again, we know that there is no such thing as a coincidence. All things are determined by Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. All right, even when we go into, we went into this before, but let's touch on this again. All right, what does that word omnipotent mean when it comes to the scriptures? And I'm using as a reference Revelation 19 and verse 6. Let's go into that word omnipotent though. All right. Pantocrator, I believe. Here it is.
Strong's G 3841, Pantocrator. Pantocrator.
All right. And what does it mean? He who holds sway over all things. All right. There is no such thing as a coincidence. All right. The Lord is controlling all of these things. He has a hand in it. The only question is, what is it? Is it his left hand or his right hand? All right. So, right representing righteous, left representing wicked. Okay. So again, we know that there is no such thing as coincidence. All right. There is no coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. All right. The Most High Yahweh has determined everything, and we want to keep that in mind when we watch not only all the events of the world take place, all right, even as they have in the past, but even these videos that we're going to show dealing with the UPC, okay, you see how the Lord always made a way for prophecy, or prophecy has spoken everything into existence, all right. So let's see, where were we? All right. Oh yeah, Proverbs 20 and verse 4. All right, let's go there really quickly here. All right, Proverbs 24, it reads, oh, Proverbs 20 and 24. Excuse me. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? Right? So the Lord controls all of this, man. Okay? All of this, everything. So there is no coincidence when it comes to the Lord. So how does this affect us as far as the mark of the beast is concerned? All right, Revelation 14. Let's go to Revelation 14, verses 9 and 10. It reads, "And the angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, Bahoshem Yahushai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb." Okay, so what this man is trying to do, what Esau Edom, all right, is trying to do is brand each one of us. This RFID CHIP is here, all right, now, all right, and ready to go. Esau Edom has already shown that this is at the forefront of what is called the Fourth Industrial Revolution. And we even read that where it talks about, changing society and even your human bodies. All right, that's what it's stated in reading about what the Fourth Industrial Revolution is. Some key themes of the Fourth Industrial Revolution. All right, interconnection. The ability of machines or devices or sensors and people to connect and communicate with each other via the Internet of Things, or IoT, okay, or the Internet of people, or Internet of bodies. All right, what these people are trying to push is to have people connect to the internet to make them items, right? Just like items that you get from the grocery store. Hence why they have to come up with certain things that will keep track or inventory of everything. All right, when you add on technologies like blockchain also, okay, a complete inventory of things, okay, transactions, items, okay. So the time is coming for the CBDCs to take over, or central bank digital currencies, and everything goes digital, right? The whole world is headed towards a digital future, okay? This includes your IDs. This is why a lot of people, or a lot of countries, what do they call that here? A real ID. And they just, we're hearing now, well, we've been hearing that even Mexico is going towards a digital ID. All right, so is Europe, Australia, okay, UK. Just everyone's headed in this direction. All right, all data will go into a microchip about the size of a grain of rice to end up under your skin. All right. Thing is, you do not want to be deceived. All right, this is exactly what is happening and what is stated in Revelation 13 and 16. The writing is so clear upon tables that people just are, you're thinking too deep. All right, this thing is exactly what it is. All right, what else can it be? As a matter of fact, all right. So let me see. Let me check this time really quick. All right, because we have a couple videos to watch. All right, and then that'll be that on this subject. That'll be that for Revelation chapter 13. All right. So we're gonna cut the video right there. We'll come right back and finish these notes, and then watch a couple of videos, and Lord willing, all right, that will lead to your understanding of the number of the beast. So Lord willing, this came through as sincere and edifying, and with that, all praise to Yahweh, in the name of his son, Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to my elders, apostles, and the bishops of Great Millstone, otherwise known as GMS for short, but also known as the prophets of doom. These are where I have learned this truth and where I am still learning this truth. And also shalom to the remnant and the elect of Israel. Lord willing, I am of that number, and Lord willing, we will see you in the next video. Shalom.